How's it going, scribblers? What you scribbling? I'm excited. Episode 12, filler episode. But this one's a ton of fun. It's definitely going to be a ton of fun. I'm having Lily back on. We didn't have anybody scheduled today because we already recorded earlier in the week. But it didn't feel right not doing the Mighty Pen on Mighty Pen Monday. So that's when we record. It's Monday. I'm sitting in my bathrobe and I couldn't be happier. I love my new job. So thank you to everybody that has subscribed. A huge shout out to our sponsors. Again, the Mighty Pen is sponsored by Chronic Therapy Dispensary in Wheat Ridge, Colorado. Check them out, 80033. Also by SpinWiz Comics, spinwizcomics.com. Indies do what the big two can't, and so do we. With over 400 titles to pick from, all for free, why not give spinwizcomics.com a shot? And then also to Mean Muggins Co. on Etsy and Instagram. So other than that, things have been going really good, guys. I'm really happy with the way the show's turning out. Excuse me. Shout out Chronic Therapy. I was a little skeptical at first of doing a podcast. It was a harebrained idea that I had. I didn't know if I had I never even considered if I had the chops to host the thing. Shout out Chronic Therapy. To host the thing. And I wasn't sure anybody wanted to even hear what I had to say. So, but once we got a formula together and we realized that the show should be to highlight the struggles of an upcoming writer, which is, the hat I'm wearing at the time, then we would need to get honest about certain things, a little more exposed. So you guys get to hear from me every couple of weeks what it's like being a writer. And now a podcast host, I guess, if you want to call me that. As far as the writing side of things, lately I've been primarily working on my second novel, the sequel to Unkillable Joe, international best-selling author Joe Vallon, by Joe Vallon. And it's so freaking funny, guys. It's a hilarious book. I can't wait for this one to come out. We're shooting for Valentine's Day. Get it? See what I did there? Valentine's Day. We're trying to get this book out by. But I've also decided, you tune in to hear about writing, right? So I own all my own stuff as of right now. Okay. We are talking to this one or that one about this or that. But, I'm open to whatever helps the clan. Okay. And by the clan, I mean Lily and I. So if it's good for us, we'll consider it. Other than that, I do like the idea of me owning absolutely everything my hands touch. So that's why you hear me hint about potentially starting my own label, Vallon Studios or something to that effect. And if I do go that route, I will be hitting up quite a few of my friends to put together a talent pool. That's part of what the podcast is about too, guys. I'm sort of earmarking not only whose work has caught my eye, but also who I enjoy talking with. Isn't that the biggest part about any project, is having to deal with the other person? Do you like that person? And I love my friends, you know who you are, but I don't make any new ones. And the reason being is because I don't care about things like that anymore. I'm a legacy hunter. I'm hunting down my own legacy. I know what my potential is exactly. And I just would never say it because it sounds too lofty or ridiculous just to blurt it out. It's so cocky to hear those words spoken. But to let them inhabit you in your daily grind, to let those words drive your work and motivate you through your plot lines and your outlines and your dialogue, well, isn't that what you're supposed to be doing? Like, whoever set out to write an okay book? Anyone? If somebody did, I'd like to punch you in the stomach. I think you deserve that for wasting a reader's time with your mediocre effort. And I know there's a million of them out there. There's a lot of cash grabs. There's a lot of, how I made my first million, buy that. Well, that's how he made his first million, Stunatos. Don't buy it. Okay, but when it comes to everybody else, I give every author out there the benefit of the doubt that they put their all into their rectangular baby they're holding. I know I sure as hell did. I know my friends sure as hell did. So I assume everybody did. It's a hard process. You don't go through all that out of spite or something. Like you don't write a whole book to win an argument unless you're psychotic like I am. I wrote a book because somebody picked on me for just being a comic writer. And it was a passing joke. They didn't mean it. And it fucking annoyed me. So I started writing a novel that night. And I thought I had it done quickly. And I was bragging about it. Then it turned out to be too short. I was using too big of a font. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. It's crazy. Didn't deal with any editors yet. My story was crazy. I almost deleted the damn thing a few times. And I'm so thankful I didn't, because you now know that work as my rectangular baby, Unkillable Joe. And I now love that story, and I now think it's a fantastic book. But it took, a couple hundred people telling me that. Getting in my face, telling me how much they enjoyed it, what it did for them, where it took them in their fiction journey, And I take a lot of pride in the response to Unkillable Joe. I'm not bragging. Just go look. It's really sweet. It's not a braggy thing. It's just like a thank you thing. I'm thanking people for that. So thank you. Other than that, international bestseller is so freaking funny. I can't believe it. I'm dying. I'm writing so slowly, and I'm no longer going to put any deadlines on myself. So I used to talk shit and say, yeah, a book a year. I'm going to go kill it. You all know I have a work ethic. I edit this damn podcast. In that Slim show, it took me, I'm not going to even say, like 2 days of editing. How about that? We'll say that. 2 days I sat there. 2 days I sat there just doing that show from wake up to go to bed. And the second day I finished early enough for Lily and I to watch a few shows. We've been watching What We Do in the Shadows on Hulu. And I know I'm late to the game. I know there's a movie, blah, blah, blah. I just had so much vampire fatigue, I didn't give a shit. Werewolf fatigue, you name it. And I didn't give a shit. But I started watching it. It's got one of my favorite guys from the IT crowd on it. I love that lady. And then the other dude. There's 3 main actors. And then there's, what's his familiar name, honey? Guillermo. Yeah. And he's a heavy set Mexican kid, and I freaking love him. The casting's so perfect in it. The acting's so good. It's a real fresh take. It's not an ad for that. I know I'm off on a tangent, but man, it was good. So yeah, we got time to watch that. So yeah, I sat there for about a day and a half editing Slim the Living Cyborgs episode 11. And I'll never forget it. But if you go back and listen to the episode, when you get to the Joe Venture, he's got his voice is heavily phased or lightly phased. So he sounds very, cyborg-esque. It was really fun. It's definitely a fun show. So definitely check that one out. I'm zoning. Shout out Chronic Therapy. But speaking of werewolves, and we talk about writing a lot, and this is supposed to be a writing show, so I'd like to pull it back into all that. I was thinking maybe, and Lily suggested it, maybe I should read you guys something I had written. So it's not like I'm just sitting here talking about writing all the time. So yeah, I have a short for you guys. First time I'm reading you anything. So I'm practicing for my audiobook. Let me get a drink of water. All right. Lily, should I read this? The Hunter?
Do it.
Lily's idea. I think it's a good idea. And I should be reading you guys. I should put my money where my mouth is. Excuse me. Okay, this one's called The Hunter. It's just a short story I wrote some years back. It was a pantser story. I had no idea where I was going with it. It's a standalone. It's just silly billiness, but it's fun adventure. So here we go. It's called The Hunter. My feet are pruned from walking so far in this knee-deep water. I can just feel it. Heavy from a prolonged soaking in the stanky bog. It takes an effort to yank my leg free from the soft mud. It's even harder to do so while keeping my boots still on. I'm sure this is all by design, though. In addition to my slow speed, each step makes a loud shalak. I would normally chuckle at the goofy sound, but it gives my position away, so not so funny now. Again, I'm sure he thought of that too. Another aspect of this lovely swamp is that it stinks badly. You might think it's not a big deal, but I happen to find it terribly distracting. That, and I can't pick up his scent with all the interference stank that's assaulting my poor nose at the moment. I've no doubt that my quarry has also carefully considered this. I'm the kind of opponent you should have a plan for. As for me, I can already tell this isn't going to be an easy one. You see, I'm simply human, which is a major disadvantage in my profession. Us squishies are actually pretty fragile if you compare our physiology to that of our usual game. Our senses aren't nearly as developed as most animals as it is, but when you start dealing with supernatural beasts, that's when things get really lopsided. I, for example, have terrible night vision, which seems to be on the decline as I get older. Did I mention it's in the middle of the night and the stars are obscured by cloud cover? Well, they are. The reality of my situation hits me like an arrow. I'm beginning to realize how little control I have over my fate at the moment. Each step feels like I'm slowly walking into the mouth of a giant snake. A dim indifference settles over me, and I trudge forward with a tinge of excitement. My only human senses sharpen a bit more as I get a little mad and a little excited. That tingle I've been addicted to for over the last 20-some years. Each scar is an ex-lover of mine. Each nick in my sword generates a guaranteed smile at the memory. Some of these man-eaters, or worse, have slaughtered hundreds, some thousands. They can rack up huge numbers if left unchecked for a couple of centuries or so. My new friend here, somewhere in this swamp, for example, is responsible for the demise of whole towns at a time, which happens more often than you'd believe. Shout out Chronic Therapy. I could lie to you and tell you that I don't enjoy my job, but I won't insult you fine folks. I really, really love this shit. There's no more satisfying feeling on this planet than when you bring down one of these natural disasters. These single-being plagues that effortlessly cut swaths through the land at will. There's more to it than a simple desire to kill, though. These abominations seem to like what they do, too. I can relate. Fear is really their favorite spice, so the more horrified and repulsed the victim, the better we seem to taste to them. How can I schlock through this demon's toilet with such fervor, you ask? Well, a man on the side of justice is twice armed, so it's easy to summon the courage when you actually don't give a fuck about what happens to you. That, and like I said, I really do love my job. I step wrong, my foot gets stuck under a gnarled root, which steals my boot. Bastard root. My hairy friend is no doubt watching this in amusement. If he simply wanted to kill me, I'm pretty sure that would have been the right time to make it happen. Apparently, I'm being toyed with. Big risk on his part. I hear nothing, a gap in the wind to my left, so that's how I know to start turning. My instincts are big procrastinators, but they get the job done. As a shearing set of claws rake themselves over the side of my face, warm blood streams uncomfortably and collects itself in that space between your neck and shoulder that blood likes to pool up in. I can't stand that feeling, but the pain? Pain's a different story. You see, for a guy like me, ouchies bring up my senses a level or two each. To harm a hunter without killing them is a silly, silly move. This is fairly common knowledge in my world, so I'm betting that our friend meant to kill me quickly and just made his first big mistake of the night. My swamp-filling laugh bounces off the depressed trees and degrades them even further. They are my witnesses. I'm fairly mad now, which makes things a lot easier. And I hear that nothing again. So I flick a dagger off to my right. I don't see it because I don't bother to look, but I distinctly hear it pop through his thick skin. Where did I just hit him? Doesn't matter. I didn't throw my short blade with the intention of killing. I threw it for vanity-related reasons. It's important to me that he realizes I'm not like the rest of his food supply. I don't mind taking on a new dance partner, but it's important to set the tone before the song starts. Big risk on my part, I know. But I'm not the only one gambling here. And like I said, I'm pretty mad at this point. I can't pick up that nothing sound at the moment, but I can smell the fucker now. Their blood is pungent. He's close. So close, I can even smell him. Wait. Repeat. So close, I can smell him. I slowly turn to my right, and who do I see looking right at me? Mr. Hairy Fuckface, I yell out, but super cool Monster Man over here just stares me down all drooly and scary like. Apparently he's pretty mad too. Finished toying with me, bud? You tired of life? I can help with that, you know. His beady eyes are the only reflective thing about him. Shaggy stink fur. And those long-ass kill-everything arms, just flexing and shaking with rage. He reminds me of someone, but I can't put my thumb on it. You remind me of someone, I screw with him. Have I killed one of your uncles? Or girlfriends? It's really hard to tell you ugly fucks apart, you know that? The nappy head tilts to one side. He must be over 7 feet. The top lip curls into the kind of snarl I wish I could wear, and his scratched-out ethereal voice unfolds rudely, like a slowly falling tree. Son. Whoops. Being a single man, I've always avoided the complications of family, and now here I am, answering for a family tragedy I can't even recall. Oh well. Sorry about that. I'm sure he died, well. Let's put it behind us, shall we? It starts its heavy breathing routine. I give him my back and make to leave. Yeah. Big risk, I know. I already told you, though, I'm not the only one gambling here. So I'll be leaving now. Have a good one. I take a schlucky step. Have you seen a boot around here? Now, I've heard a lot of howls in my day, but the blast our friend just let loose was something else altogether. It didn't sound like a wolf. It sounded more like a pack of dead wolves, already half-eaten by worms, and howling in unison with their combined pain. If anger takes my skills up a level, bump that up a few more when fear kicks in. And yeah, I'm sufficiently scared at the moment. Well, mad scared, or maybe scared mad. Either way, both. My ears tell me that 2 oversized feet made their own schlucky noises when muscly legs fired them out of the mud and launched a 7-foot stinky death machine in my direction. I can hear that nothing sound about twice my height up and closing at a harsh 45-degree angle. My sword disagrees and throws its edge down to meet something at a rough 60-degree. As always, I'm wrong and she's right. Lucky bastard. My blade is the only one I know who never gambles. It takes a quick arm and an easy leg without stopping to sniff the stinky roses along the way. A loud splash tells me that our friend isn't as graceful as he once was, and my sword can't help but to show its affection a couple more times. Spunky little lady. I find my knife buried in a foul-smelling thigh and yank her free. It takes quite a bit of sawing and poking around, but eventually I get the head I came for. I also take pleasure in the simple things and get myself a brand new claw as a personal gift. I deserve it. I've been working hard this month. On my way back through the swamp, I even find my boot. This must be my lucky night. Gods, I love my job. I know it seems that I should be easier to kill, especially for goons like that. Eventually, I have no doubt that one of them will succeed. But like I said before, I'm the kind of guy you need a plan for. That's it. That's the hunter. I botched the end a little. Anyway, I'm practicing for my audiobook, so I had to read a piece. Lily suggested The Hunter. That's The Hunter. It's up on my website if you want to take a read. I should probably edit the thing. I was trying to do it on the fly. And that's about it. We're going to start reading more pieces on here too, or possibly even having more authors on to read shorts that they've written. I'd like that. So if you're an author, hit up Lily, and I'd like to hear something you've written. Anyway, we're going to be right back. I'm super excited. Lily and I are going to talk about everything we have going on at Patreon. It's nuts. We're doing crazy stuff on Patreon. We have Twitch, retro gaming, a whole bunch of stuff going on. Also, shout out to my friend LaShawn Colvin, the creator of Beautiful Soldiers. Just had a big announcement. Go follow her on social media and check out her comic. It's beautiful. She's super cool. And she was on episode 7. Thank you, Lily. Okay. That's about it. We're going to be right back with Lily Aurora, my manager and lady friend. And don't go away.
What's up, everybody? My name is Rob Powers, the creator of Penguino's Revenge, the story of a young samurai penguin who's out to save his family from captivity. You can check me out on Instagram, Facebook, and go to www.penguinosrevenge.com for more info. You're listening to the Mighty Pen Podcast.
Welcome back, Scribblers. I'm Joe Valen. It's good to have you back on the Mighty Pen podcast, probably episode 12. I think I'm just going to put this right up. Why not? People aren't going to get sick of you. I'm with Lily Aurora, by the way. Say hi.
Hello.
Hey. So I don't think people are, why not have Lily on a whole bunch of times? Like, she's right here.
Yeah.
And we didn't have any shows lined up today, so why not just do a show? You guys like Joe Ventures, and she will be the first guest today with a continuing Joe Venture.
I'm excited to see where it goes.
We have to go back and listen to the show more, because I have to remember. I think you had just signed with the lady to become a big star after she saw your burlesque performance where you mistreated the other girl.
Yes. It was a magical signature. And
you flashed your clam in the audience, and that's what made everybody really love you.
Yeah, it was pretty exciting.
Yeah.
And I pushed the other girl into broken glass.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty crazy, but the audience was loving it, and I had to go with what the audience wanted to see.
Right. So we have to continue that story today and do something with it. So we will. Anyway, I'm watching the mic levels right now. Lily and I are sharing a mic because we are lazy fucks.
Right, it's just a little easier this way.
Lazy fuck. Anyway, so let me adjust the mic a little bit here, a little bit there. And how's that, everybody? Say something, Lily.
Something. Testing.
There you go. Okay.
Looks good.
So we're going to do your Joe Venture today. And then we also wanted to talk a little bit about the massive Patreon overhaul we're doing. Mm-hmm. And, tell us about that.
We're excited. So Patreon, if you guys head over there, we took away all the tiers a while ago. But we've been kind of letting it just sit and grow and adding new things to it. But right now, everything is just $1. For $1 minimum, you get everything. We're adding chapters of Unkillable Joe, sort of one at a time. We're up to chapter 4 as of this recording, but by the time this is out, we'll probably be 8 or 9.
I'm going to make you post them all the time. And the $1 deal, that was my idea. Mm-hmm. When I came up with that, I was like, Lily, make everything $1. And she just started hysterically crying and just saying that we're going to starve and that people aren't, there's not that many generous people in the world. So the ones that are, you got to just charge what it's worth. But I was like, no, give it all to them for $1 measly.
He'd probably give it away for free if we could get away with it.
Yeah. I don't give a fuck about money, guys. I never will. I never have. Lily can have it. Lily, my sister, Asia, if you're listening, you guys get all my money. I could give a fuck. I want legacy building projects going out, and I could give half a shit about almost anything else in my life. Mm-hmm. Other than us and
food.
Lasagna. Probably. So, yeah, that's all I give a fuck about. I'm completely one-tracked, and I think, okay, so this is a good topic. You could, because I'm not definitive proof quite yet, meaning I'm not at the level where I'm totally comfortable on just residuals from my work yet. Mm-hmm. When I get to that level and we can expand our operation, we could put more comics into production. I will have more free time to write. I will have a better environment to write in. Mm-hmm. Mm. We're house shopping. We want to buy a house. Mm-hmm. So that would be really cool.
You can have a nice office.
Yeah,
work in.
That's the goal. If I have all these things in place, plus I want to have a knife forge outside, and I want to start my company there. And I think what I want to do is I want to have 3 to 5 people working at my knife company, Smiths. I want to go down there and I want to get them all started in the morning. So I want you and I to have breakfast at 7, ready.
Okay.
And then I want everybody to work for me that works for me. If they want, come inside the house and have breakfast.
Right. Everybody's free to come in.
So the 3 to 5 people that work in my shop, I want to keep it around 3 would be best. So let's say there's 3 people that work for me. I want them to be able to come in the house. Hi, Mr. Valen. Hi, other one. Mm-hmm. Right? Uh-huh. I'm just kidding. And, I want them to be comfortable. I want them to have a good breakfast. I want them to be like, all right, what are you guys working on today? And I want to chat with them about our day. Mm-hmm. Right? I want to correct any of their things that they're going to do that I don't want to pay them to do. So I'm like, oh, well, don't work on the pommels today. Why don't you just forge a few new swords while you're here, while we have this part going? Why don't you, go in tandem with this guy? And, whatever. I'll know the operation well enough to know how to make tweaks to their plans. Mm-hmm. Then once we agree on the day's activities, I wish them well. And then if they want, that we talk about personal shit. We finish up breakfast, we rub our tummies. Everybody goes to work. I go up to the attic to write. Mm-hmm. They go out there to make swords. And the sound of them making swords, like ching, ching, like outside my writing area. Oh, that'll be nice. I don't think I'll need music anymore.
To your ears.
Yeah. I can probably for the first time in my life, I can probably write without music.
Well, what are you going to write about then?
Probably fucking knights and medieval badass shit.
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm really considering doing, honestly? I'm considering doing some sort of time thing where I'm going to launch myself into a medieval time. Ooh. I'm considering, just for fun. It's boiling after the Joe saga. I still need to finish writing international best-selling author Joe Allen, and Killable Joe. And then I still want to knock out To Suffer the Living after that. So there's 4 books deep. A trilogy knocked out, and To Suffer the Living, the start of the Val trilogy, it could be.
Right.
Or it could just be the start of the jump around thing. So like we go way into the future in space, and then maybe we can go way into the past as a knight. Right.
Not everything has to be a trilogy necessarily. But that's what people seem to like.
Yeah. And if I look at my personality and I go back and read throughout history about things like knights and, just badassery and shit, it would be really hard for me to just fly one set of colors as far as I'd probably be on my own for the most part, which lends itself to some great stories. Knights that work for somebody, yeah, you might have great stories if your lord was cool and getting you involved in crazy shit, or not cool, depending.
Right.
But if you were on your own, it was just constant adventure. And I'm pretty sure I'd be constant adventure. No doubt. If people's lifespan was to 30...
Yeah, you gotta make use of that time.
Look how rebellious I am even now up to 40. Let alone back then at 22. Yoked. Big ass fucking claymore.
Touring the countryside.
60-pound plate mail on,
Yeah.
A horse with his own armor.
Of course. The horse has to have armor.
Well, I guess long term it would fuck up their backs and shit. I don't know. And I'd probably not have the money because I'd be unemployed. So I probably wouldn't have the money for all that good stuff. But how much you want to bet I have a slick Rick sword that I probably made myself?
Uh-huh.
As a matter of fact, if I do get sent back in time, I'll be like, show me to your nearest, ore mining, places. And I'd want to go see their metallurgy sites.
Right. Get an apprenticeship somewhere.
I'd go, if you folded this steel, we can get some impurities out of it. And they'll be like, how do you know that? I'd be like, the Japanese, of course. They'll be like, my God.
He's from the future. Then you'll be found out.
But then what's going to happen is I'm going to hook up these whites with the best sword-making techniques from the future that I now know, being a swordsmith. By the way, I don't know if my scribblers knew that I can make swords and shit. Anyway.
A man of many hats.
Yeah, I prefer to make knives and sheaths and holsters, but it's all in the training of building my own personal family heirloom katana one day. And I'm not at that level, but I can make stuff, cool shit. So yeah, if you sent me back right now, but what's going to happen is I'm going to give all these whites better steel and shit, and they're going to beat up on the poor Indians even worse later on.
Oh.
They're going to get too far advanced quicker, even faster than the Europeans were with gunpowder.
Right. You should come to
I should go to Native America. Yeah, that's what I should do.
Give them a hand in the past.
But I just want to be a knight so badly. I want to live in that world so badly. I just think the only thing that's weird is, I don't know, wasn't everybody gross and getting diseases?
The Europeans are historically the grossest people. They were introduced to baths from the Japanese.
You know how I hate gross shit.
Yeah.
I hate anything. I don't even eat the gross parts of chicken and stuff.
They just threw their shit into the street.
Yeah, I can't handle it. If I saw that, I'd be like, you animals. You goddamn animals. So what about Italy? What was Italy like?
They probably had.
What were my people like?
I mean, all that European area, and this is all we're just bullshitting.
Yeah, but if I really know. The only reason I don't go back to Italy is because if I go back to Italy, I got to wear those bunchy underwear and those pointy floppy shoes, and I'm not sure I'm not
You
sure I'm
should go.
down.
You should go to like Turkey, like the Turkish.
Then I
think
gotta have
they
the
were,
dumb
like,
mustache. I don't want the dumb mustache.
and a long beard.
I'm not into all that. That's where
You
stink
could be like
sits.
Vlad or whatever. his
Like I
name
have
is.
facial hair, but I keep it fairly tight. I don't
Yeah.
like a lot of filth in my face. They say fecal matter hides in a man's beard.
Ew.
And if
It's everywhere.
If you live in Denver, you know.
Ew. Just Denver. It's a Denver thing.
I don't know. Well, there's a lot. You know what the thing is like I'm not willing to let hipsters go quietly into the night. They're receding quietly. You know,
They're trying to sneak away.
yeah, hipsters are just like they just shave their handlebar mustache. They put down the flannel for a weekend, and it's like we all forgot, you know. And it's like,
Yeah.
But here's the thing: I didn't forget. I don't forget. I don't forget a hipster face. If you were rocking hipster at one point, I took note of that shit. It's late in the game for that business. Hopping sides, fads, idiots. Still talking about bacon.
Right. What are they now? Well, now it's like
What was the other thing? It's just a million things.
cold brew or no microbreweries.
Oh,
We're shitting on like Denver again.
I know, but it's fine this time. It's a fill-in show, and I'm happy, and we're going to give the people, again, what they want. They want realism. This is realism.
The people want it.
Yes, and it's not even that. It's a lot of other stuff, too. I mean, the hipster thing was funny to me.
Yeah.
Hopping sides. I forget where I was going with all this.
Oh my. Chronic therapy strikes again.
Yeah, let's strike again. Tell me about Patreon.
Okay, so back to Patreon. We went off on a tangent, but we had to go back in time to be a knight for a moment. So what else is on Patreon besides the book? We got all the episodes of the podcast. You get them early. You get extra ones if we ever do a random extra one. Anything extra is going to go on Patreon.
We're
They
extra
have like
people.
YouTube videos are on there, a couple little YouTube messages just for patrons. And the book podcast, Lilith's Cradle, obviously is
Yeah,
like the
every page.
main sort of focus. At least at first it was, but now we've got other stuff. But
Dude,
there
you
was-
guys are going to get everything for $1.
yeah,
You're going to get every page of Lilith's Cradle. You're going to get every one of these podcasts a week before it goes anywhere. Spotify, Podbean, YouTube, a week before all that. Shout outs. We got to do more shout outs. I will do shout outs. I love you guys. We don't have enough patrons to where I should be forgetting people, so it's on me.
yeah, but we try and like say thank you. Any new patrons, we chat with you guys. We try and do but that's the other thing. So we've tried to reach out to some of our current patrons and like for question Q&A videos
they're not
or
that
something.
active.
Yeah, so
They're not that
if you
active.
guys want to be active and want to engage with us and want to basically get closer to our operation and show your support, Patreon's the way to go. And the people that have been on there maybe haven't been taking advantage of that the way that we envision it, but the opportunity's there.
Well, we're sweetening the pot.
Yeah.
So now it's like when you sign up on most people's Patreon, it's to support one comic. Like if you want to support this comic, you sign up on this Patreon and you pay however much you want per month, tiers, $5, $10, $25, whatever it is, and you get that reward every month. Well, I can't fucking keep track of everything. Neither can Lily. It's too much. So we don't want to have to be sending you guys stuff every craziness and forgetting. So basically, $1. $1 gets you everything, and it's not just the comic. Like we said, it's a comic. It's a podcast. It's my entire novel. It's short stories, and it's a little behind the scenes making of everything, videos. My second comic I just put into production. I don't know what we're doing with yet, but I don't have the permission to just start selling that from Raphael.
Right.
We got to talk it out.
But there will be other stuff like any future comics,
Right.
even if it's just a short web comic or
Right.
and the sketches, all the in progress shots from Lilith's Cradle. You guys see the sketches and line art and stuff from that, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Even if pages get changed, you kind of see like where the story started and how it's come to be what it is, now.
Well, and then there's other things too. This isn't necessarily just Patreon related. This is like readership and support related. Unkillable Joe was a standalone story. It was one book. It was a very personal story. It was something personal I wanted to tell, but I wanted it to be funny and fictional. So there you go. So I made Unkillable Joe. Okay, fine. Put all this love into it. You guys read it. Your response to that was so nice. And the amount of people that asked me about a sequel was like 1 out of 3 people were like, what about a sequel? And it's all the time. I was like, there's no fucking way. But
You were against it for
I was
for
against
a while.
it. And then I was writing To Suffer the Living as my second book, which was an intense sci-fi horror thriller in space, following a serial killer's exploits in space, and just hardcore,
Deep shit.
action-packed too, fast-paced. And yeah, with overlying, well, anyway, a big story I was writing.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was just so intense, and you actually need research in that, and I fucking hate research more than anything. So I started writing this story as a joke, and it was called, I wanted to make myself the best selling author of all time, ever. And I was to be giving a speech in this town for like these...
Right. It started out like just a short story. You were in like a school or something giving some
like
sort of
thousands of
writer's
writers
speech.
had gathered in a college, in a local college, because I was scheduled to give a speech there, and it was big news because I hadn't done so in a few years. And people were freaking out. So there was a lot of cameras, there was a lot of news, and I came walking in, and my entire speech was, the next great writer of our generation is not in this room. And then I walked out. So they waited for me to come and give this speech. I gave that speech, and I got a standing ovation on the way out, like a huge applause.
Yeah.
They were honored to have like that sentence from me, right? And that's the story I was writing. I was like, oh, how narcissistic, how self-serving, how fun. How fun.
Right.
Like, if you can't be the man in your own head, where can you be the man? Where is your domain, if not in your own mind? Like, where do you have to retreat to? Like, most married guys, what? They have to retreat to what? The garage?
They go to the garage. They go to the strip club or something. They,
or the
they
bathroom.
run away. Yeah, bathroom.
Anyway, but, yeah. So, you know, your last escape for some people is the mind. It's my first because it's the strongest one. I can daydream at any time, at any point in the day, which is why I've never been able to keep a job. And I could just zone off and just go somewhere and just go do something great.
You have a really vivid imagination.
Well, and it's been cultivated.
Yeah.
I've worked at it. You know, I think I've been daydreaming for 40 years.
Yeah, you can lose it if you don't practice or if you don't try.
That's part of what the Joe Venture is about. It's keep me sharp. So shout out Chronic Therapy and don't know what strain. So anyway, you recently had your birthday. For the last 2 shows, it's been your birthday.
Yeah, it's like drawing my birthday out extra long time.
Yeah. You had your birthday. You got old.
Yeah, I'm old now. I'm over the hill. 26.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
What are some of the advantages of dating a guy as old as I am? Other than like the money.
Other than the money. I just like, you have like interesting stories. You know, it's not just like dating like guys my
All
age.
lies. All
It would be
lies.
like, I'm just going to go sit here and play video games for 6 hours.
Yeah, you had to
know?
convince me to play video games.
Yeah, you kind of got out of it. So, and it's like video games for possible money.
Right.
You
We're getting
know?
paid to play video games now.
Yeah, so it's like interesting stories. I think you're more chill. You kind of got your shit figured out. You're not like, oh, I have to go out and bang every woman in the universe because I'm, you know, if I date, I'm never going to have another chance again.
Yeah, like, I mean, you know, why disappoint like 20 women when you could disappoint one?
Yeah. Oh.
It's the most romantic thing I've ever said.
Yeah. No, I liked can I say this? I don't know.
What?
We were talking about something. I was being like a little jealous over some other girl or something, and you said my dick will go in your mouth 7,000 more times before the end of our lives or something like that. And I was like, that's about as romantic as it gets in this household.
That's awful.
And I did the math. That's like 67 years.
Yeah.
If we're doing like twice a week. So
Yeah, I'm really smart. I can compute fast.
yeah, so that was
I'm just kidding.
we're romantic. I
right.
love it though. It was funny.
Well, yeah. So, and other than that, I'm starting to get these whites here.
You got a couple. Yeah, and it's like, you know, I don't know. I like older guys. Like, what's wrong with that? I was watching this video of Arnold the other day. It was like some, they were like looking at his fridge. It was like a little interview.
Oh, I almost watched that.
Yeah,
Did he have a,
Fridge and
did he
Jim.
have a beard in it?
Yeah, he's a little sexy little like gray-haired old Arnold Schwarzenegger. Like, damn.
Yeah, like even as far, isn't he like 72?
It's something. He's like so.
Well, I remember like he got into it with Trump or something, and like Trump was talking shit to him, and it occurred to me they're the same age. And
Oh, wow.
Arnold compared to like, of course, like compared to his Mr. Universe days is like, you know, I mean, of course, he's an old man now. You can't keep up with that. Like, look at Sly Stallone. These guys, like, they kept it up as long as they could. They're actually still in some of the best shape.
He looks good.
Arnold just got kicked in the back from some kid in like South Africa. He was at like some college or something.
Yeah, you can look it up on YouTube. It was like this short clip of this kid like just randomly drop kicking him, but he took it.
He doesn't go down at all. Like he just turns around like, who the hell did? Yeah, so
he's like, who tapped me on the shoulder?
He's probably still solid, and his weightlifting techniques, he kept up with it. I'm just thinking he's off the juice, obviously, which is bad for your fucking endocrine system. Mm-hmm. And I think that he just has to age, and he doesn't want shit to shut down on him. So he's just working out. He's just being a dude who works out.
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of that's loose skin from his like super huge days.
Yeah, maybe he was wearing like, and you can tell he covers it up because he was wearing a t-shirt, but with like a light denim shirt over it, like with mid-length, like it was kind of covering his arms.
Right.
So he's like aging gracefully.
Yeah, he's covering stuff
but
up.
he's still
not,
like keeping it together. He was like doing some curls or something.
I saw Dorian Yates on Joe Rogan. He's a bodybuilder, and the same thing. He was small and smaller, and you know it's fine. You're gonna get older, but I saw those two were going at it, and they were talking shit to each other, and I was thinking Arnold would just fucking murder that man. Like
he'd eat his whole family.
Yeah, Arnie's like
he'd carry Melania off on his shoulder.
Okay, so I would have a hard time fighting Arnold for a couple of reasons. One, he's got reach on me. Two, he's a childhood legend of mine. Three, he's just a legend as a grown man too to me.
Yeah, he came from nothing.
He's conquered everything.
Yeah,
he's somebody that if you showed me a picture of him while I was struggling to do something, I would harness a little more energy.
Yeah.
I feel that way about C.T. Fletcher. As a matter of fact, I always do an extra couple reps for C.T. Mm-hmm. His story has inspired me, and I just do 2 more for C.T. every time. Mm-hmm. So part of my growth is due to just C.T.
Right. Thanks, C.T. Fletcher.
I love him.
Go check him out.
Also, while we're on fitness, shout out Armbrust Pro Gym on Instagram. That's my gym. I love that gym. You know, bodybuilding champion Phil Heath was just there. And it was so funny. I didn't say shit to him. You know what's so funny? I was so in my own head in my own lift that I saw Phil Heath and I continued my lift out of respect. As a matter of fact,
more respectful to him than anything else.
You know what's funny about that too is I felt like I wasn't really distracted by him being there at all. If anything, I was like, good, like he's here. I'll have a better lift. Like
it motivated you?
Totally. Mm-hmm. And I had 2 hurt wrists from my tantrum.
Yeah.
That we had loud neighbors and I put my fist through the wall by accident. I'm fucking psycho. But
it really wasn't. At least it was an accident. You weren't just like angry, like straight through the wall.
I'm so embarrassed I did that. Yeah.
Yeah. He just kind of bumped the wall to like warn him, and then it's just shitty walls. You know, I could punch through one of these walls.
And I've been getting stronger lately too, and like little things you don't notice. Like I do these little things where like I kind of slap my cat's face lightly. You know, like I just cover her face and do that. I do it to you.
Mush her, yeah, we get mushed.
Yeah, you guys get mushed. But lately I've been noticing that I've been doing it too hard. You know,
I think because your hand, he does all these like grip strength stuff now, and he's got into like arm wrestling. Yeah, your hand has like muscle on it now, so your hand has more weight, I think, behind it too.
You gotta be careful. But like I noticed that like when I slap your ass, I can do it lighter, and it's like I get more of a reaction than before when I used to have to do it harder. So it's like I can do less reps of ass slapping for the same amount of volume pushed.
Right. So 1 slap is equal to like 5.
2 reps of the old slaps. You know?
Right. It's better for my butt, I guess.
Yeah. Anyway. So I don't know if that's what they tuned in for.
For butt slapping? That's what everybody loves.
This is the most relaxed show we've ever had. Like this isn't even, I'm just staring off into space, talking in the direction of a mic.
Talking about Arnold.
Oh yeah, he's a legend.
Yeah. Bodybuilding. So I was like, so I don't know. I mean, I've dated guys my own age. I've dated guys just a tiny bit younger, dated older guys, and I've always, you know, I like a silver fox. I like a gentleman.
Slightly spoiled.
Yeah, slightly spoiled.
Milk. I don't know what.
What? Ew. No, I don't like spoiled milk.
All right, let's do Joe Venture, goddammit.
Okay. Are we ready?
This is just a filler show. We apologize to everybody. If you were tuning in for like, you know, Transformers 6, I'm sorry. We didn't have the budget this time.
Yeah, but I think this is good. Like people, so we watch all these like business videos and like how to grow your YouTube.
Yeah, they said be
and-
organic.
yeah, or everybody's all about
That's what today's about.
We're
Yeah.
being authentic.
And we tried to do a tight top 2. A tight top 2.
Yeah. So let us know. Did the 2 minutes
Grab
in the
you?
beginning? How was that?
Yeah.
Are you hooked?
Yeah, and I cut down the sponsors too. I only said like 3 sponsors. But again, check our links below for the rest of them
Right. There's more, and on the website joevalenwriter.com
for affiliates.
/affiliates. You can go to the affiliates page, and there we've got our friends, some other podcasters, and we've got the different resources and stuff out there that if you sign up for any of those websites, it gives us a little kickback, which we would appreciate. And we don't put anything up there that we don't really like. It's not bullshit. Those are good brands, good companies to try out. So, check them out. If you do business or you want food.
Here's
What's
why
the other
I
one?
just realized why like a guy like me shouldn't have a podcast, right?
Why?
It's because the whole time we were just talking, I've been fighting the urge to say, and nudie pictures of our cat.
Oh,
But I know how stupid that is.
that's great though.
But I had to tell that dad joke so badly. But here's how I solved it though. I brought it up like, here's what's wrong with me.
Right.
Right?
You bring it up in a
So that's why I should have a
constructive way.
podcast. That's why I should have a podcast, is because I could spin that thought and just address the thought. Because it is super stupid of me. Okay? But this is the struggle. So maybe this explains some of my douchiness too to some people listening, because that is the struggle in my head at all times.
To say these like childish,
Just weird.
ridiculous
It's almost like
things.
Tourette's. It's like I have no impulse control. I want to say
like,
everything.
like cup and balls.
Okay, yeah, like right. Okay, so I had to edit out last show. Slim, I love you, but Slim, the living cyborg, was on.
We're just immature. Like
We're
it's
immature.
the child part of your
And
brain
he
that laughs
said
at this stuff.
He did this. He practiced swallowing. He did cup and balls, and I couldn't handle it anymore. I know what these things are, and they're legit sideshow terms.
Right.
And in arm wrestling, there's a lot of gay terms. Arm wrestling is known
Yeah.
as pulling. I say, do you want me to pull you?
yeah.
Well, that sounds like you want to jerk me off.
Pulling John.
Pulling John is the documentary. Great, by the way, great one about John Brzezinski. Got me into arm wrestling, actually. Watch that documentary. The way it played out, it's almost scripted. It's so good. Anyway, but yeah, there's a lot
You're all
of...
close to this other sweaty man.
So I'm mature enough to understand what Slim's talking about and not be a jag-off, right? But when he said cup and balls, even I couldn't help it, and I bust out laughing.
Yeah.
Well, the fact that I was being professional up to that point confused him when I started laughing. I made him pause, made an awkward silence.
Right.
So I had to edit that silence out. Then I had to edit my dumb laughter out. Then I had to like...
He did so much editing
I had to repair
on
the
this
wave.
last episode, you guys. Like,
Oh, it was murder.
I applaud this man. He was just like a vegetable by the end of it.
I took out like
was-
most of the ums and ahs, then I put some back in, and like it was really weird.
It's like a Frankenstein episud, but it was awesome.
Well, I took out all the pauses in the beginning, which I thought was like, oh, this will make it clean and tight. But instead what it did was it made it like Slim would go, no, in the future, we don't really have 6-course meals. We usually have a nutrient pack. And I go, a nutrient pack? That's pretty cool. I would try one. Yeah,
Right.
He's like,
it
yeah,
was
that'd
like
be great.
a natural.
Yeah, we just no pause.
Like people don't. You have to breathe. People don't talk
All right, let's
like
do it
that.
right
It
now.
sounded
Ready?
good, but
Ready?
oh
Ready?
my god, I can't even
Breathe.
do it.
Wasn't that nice? So yeah, you have to do that every once in a while.
Yeah, make sure you're breathing. It's good for your body.
And we get all worked up too.
Right. So the intro of the last one was just like a little crazy.
Yeah, so we had to redo it. So anyway, let's do your Joe Venture. It's getting late in the season. You're getting on in years. So
Oh my. Okay.
Let's do it. All right, we'll be right back with Lily Aurora and her Joe Venture. If you recall, she was signed to a burlesque troupe, a very famous burlesque troupe, and some sort of magical property affected her reproductives.
Oh my.
Did you say that?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, that's where we're at. So don't go away. We'll come back with Lily's Joe Venture on the Mighty Pen Podcast.
Hey, this is Jeff Palumbo from SpinWizComics.com, and you're listening to the Mighty Pen Podcast.
What's going on, everybody? I'm glad you're back with me. This is a very key Joe Venture. This is the first continued Joe Venture we've had. And it's because we have one guest that will not stop coming on the show, Lily Aurora.
Hello.
Oh. We just got this great sound clip out of Lily where I had her lean over and second a dice roll. And I said, "What's the dice?" And she said, "Two." Like real quiet. Two. I'm going to put it in right now. That noise. It's so funny. That's like, it's got no effects on it. That's how you said it. It's my favorite now.
Right, so that'll be when everybody gets a 2.
When you get a 2, you'll hear the 2. We should get each guest saying a different number so we have it all. Like every time a dice is rolled, it's that guest's voice.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now you got to go back through and see who said what.
Yeah. Like if Isabella ever said 5.
5.
Yeah, exactly. I got her saying...
Doesn't hurt to try.
Yeah, doesn't hurt to try.
Doesn't hurt to try. Like I like that one. And then she said there's a beauty in submission. And I was thinking if somebody's getting beaten up, I could have her just come on and say that.
Uh-huh.
I have Yannicka laughing a lot.
Her laugh is is like the most amazing laugh in the whole universe.
Jeff Palumbo's just everything he says. Really.
Yeah, he got a few from that.
Oh, there we go.
My favorite from Jeff Palumbo is, "Oh no!" Like when he goes like,
"Oh no!"
Oh,
yeah, he just got a good voice.
There. Yeah, he's got a great voice. So this podcast is good because I've been able to like mine sound bites out of people. Okay, blathering aside, let's do our Joe Venture.
Okay.
Enough's enough. Okay, I don't need notes. Did I leave anything out in the notes this time? Hunter, I read The Hunter. That was a little awkward. It was longer than I thought. I don't know. Did you guys enjoy that? Leave it in the comments. I'm not sure.
Yeah, let us know. I like that one.
It's not that strong a piece, but it's okay. I like it. I think it's fun because, we try to keep it Halloween 365. Follow us on Twitch. Did we do our social media? Follow us on social media. Joe Valen Writer on Instagram. Author Joe Valen on Instagram. The Lily Bat on Instagram. What else?
And Lily's Book Corner. Lily's_Book Corner.
Yeah.
That's more the book writing stuff if you're an author.
Sign up on our mailing list at joevalenwriter.com. Front page, bottom, can't miss it. Please sign up. You get a monthly mailing or bi-monthly.
Twice a month, whatever that term is.
Bi-monthly. Bisexual monthly newsletter. Okay. We got everything down. And then we're starting a new segment. Our 5-day floorcast.
The floorcast.
Yes, where we're going to talk about what we're doing in the upcoming weeks from the floor, so it'll make sense. It's really good. It's really good chronic therapy induced ideas we got here.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, we're going to do your Joe Venture right now. So where did we leave off? Do you remember the last thing we said?
That my clam, as it were, sort of lit up and flew away into the air. Like the spirit of my clam came out of me. And the lady disappeared. I don't know what happened. I guess you just kind of ended it there, but she got my signature and then...
Yeah, she signed you to a deal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
For the magical burlesque troupe.
Oh, that was so much fun.
Was it? Fine. Fine. I'm about to roll the dice and consult the bones. To see if your adventure will be light or dark.
Oh no.
As always, we only look at the 20-sided, making the rest of the bones for show. Unless it's a middle number like an 8, like an 8 to a 12. You rolled an 8.
Mm-hmm.
But now is where we look at the rest of the bones. So we have, on the D100, you got a 10. On the D10, you got a 7, which is respectable. On the 4, you got a 3, is respectable. But now we got a 1 on the 6, a 1 on the 8, ouch, and an 11 on the whatever the fuck. So
not great.
Not great.
The worst.
So the rest of the bones are telling you it's going south too. So here's the deal. I got it.
Do I get a reroll?
No, you do not.
No,
Actually,
no special privileges?
I'll roll to see if you get a reroll. You rolled an 18. It's opposite day. No.
Wow.
So
what?
Anyway, you just definitely don't.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
You just signed that deal, and you're walking out of there. And you get out in front of the venue, and it's a nice night. You don't need your jacket. Your dress is... Your shoulders are revealed.
Ooh.
That's the kind of sassy mode you're in. Shoulder revealing mode.
Some clavicle?
So, yeah, you're showing off some clavicle. And you're out there and you see the ambulance turn a corner of your co-star in your debut when you pushed her onto broken glass. And she was bleeding out. So you see them take a hard right and barrel ass to the hospital. And as you're watching the ambulance zoom off, like running red lights. Mm-hmm. That's how bad she's hurt.
Oh.
Your focus narrows in on a very uninteresting white.
A wasp?
I don't know. He's just a white. And he's looking at you through thick glasses. He's balding on the top. His hair is blonde elsewhere. He has a tie into a sweater and a light jacket on over. Everything in earth tones. So he's locked eyes with you and you suddenly feel a depletion of energy.
Oh no.
You start to weaken quickly. How do you react to this?
So our eyes are locked.
Yes.
Can I try and like shake it off and turn away?
Sure. That's how you react to it. Okay.
Okay.
So you try to shake it off and turn away, and you rolled a 14. You start feeling a little bit better.
Okay.
And now you just want to get to your car. You actually just parked right around the corner. It's a decent neighborhood. You're not a celebrity or anything. You just have a little shitty Honda. Mm-hmm. And, you were just actually going to watch the show, if you remember.
Yeah. Just a guest in the audience.
Right. So you're heading back to your car. And as you turn the corner that is the street that your car is on, you see your car, but you also see that same dude standing next to your car. And he's staring at you in the face. Right now we're going to roll to see if we're going to roll against your will.
Okay.
Sounds bad. We rolled a 12.
Okay.
As he looks at you, you feel something tugging in the inside, like behind your eyes, like in your mind. Something tugging at your mind. But you snap out of it. You pull your head back and defend yourself. Mm-hmm. And it temporarily stops. And you see him noticeably stagger.
Okay.
Okay? How do you react?
If some strange ass dude was just like standing by my car, oh my. I want to go back to the theater.
Okay, so you go back to the theater.
Okay.
You decide to turn back and head back to the theater. But as you rolled a 5...
Oh no! Not the worst, but...
Not
You
great.
turn to head back to the theater and you feel that same tugging now at the back of your head. And it's almost like pulling at your hair, but inside your brain.
Uh-huh.
And it's a tug, tug, tug. As you go to push in the opposite direction and go away from it, you feel... it basically feels like your entire soul is ripped out and falls onto the concrete.
Shit.
From here, all goes black. Okay? You with
Okay,
me?
yeah.
Okay, good.
I'm shocked.
So that's what's happened so far. This is after your burlesque performance. You've suffered some types of attack, and you're not in your conscious mind as of right now.
Okay.
You rolled a 5. It's pretty bad. So
The bones have spoken.
you come to, but you don't feel that great.
Okay.
And you're not tied to anything or anything like that. You wake up and you sit up, and that dude is sitting in a chair staring at you. He's not saying anything. He's just staring at you. And he looks sort of confused by you, but also like he's keeping an eye on you too.
Uh-huh.
How do you react to this?
I want to just lunge at him.
You lunge at him?
I am attacking him.
You attack him.
Yeah. I'm freaked out. I'm out of it.
So you rolled an 8. So you go to attack this guy, and it feels like you jumped into the deep end of a pool when you move forward. Everything pushes against you, and everything slows. As it slows, you can see his eyes are vibrating like a blue electricity behind his glasses. And he's looking at you, and he's got his mouth open. Yeah. And once again, you feel a depletion of energy. Only this time, you don't go unconscious. You're just completely sapped of strength.
Okay.
So he sets you back down in your chair, and you actually can't move now. You have the strength to speak, and that's about it. How do you react to this new thing?
So I'm sitting in the chair. I question him, like, what the fuck is going on here? Who are you?
You ask him what's going on. He very upfront tells you that this has to do with you signing your soul away to an evil entity, making you an affiliate, so to speak, of the away team. So it's his job to abscond with these threats and then ascertain if they could either be converted back or need to be disposed of. So he's basically trying to find out if you're evil, and if you're not evil, can you be saved? If you can't be saved, he's got to kill you.
Okay.
He tells you that. All that. Very simply. How do you react to that?
Sounds fair, I guess. Because I didn't know that lady. She might be on the other side.
You rolled a 12. He's giving you the benefit of the doubt, but he thinks there's a good chance you could be lying.
Okay.
His face suggests it. Anything else that you feel the need to ask him, or
How do I know if he's legit? You know, because I don't trust anyone.
He tells you that's a good point, but it actually doesn't matter from where you're sitting.
I guess that's true
He
too.
could be bad too, and you have no choice. So he says whether or not you're convinced of his allegiance is not really important, but whether or not he's convinced of yours is of primary importance, and he needs you to understand the difference.
Okay.
So, so there's that. So then he tells you he's going to probe your mind.
No.
And ascertain whether or not you're too bad to be saved.
Okay.
And you rolled an 18. He sees the light in you. He understands you were roped into something. Shut up, crying there, baby. And good Lord, I didn't think there was anything
Careful.
left.
Oof.
Yeah. Sorry about that, guys. He knows you got roped into something. You didn't know what you were signing, really. He knows you got a bad deal.
Okay.
He snaps out of it, and he says, "We got to get you out of that contract. Right away." And then he puts his hand on your forehead, and you get back more than half the energy he took from you.
Okay.
So you're good enough to walk now, and you can move around. So that worked out. You rolled a 13
Okay.
for the people listening. So you see why Joe Ventures are taking off. This is
So I'm feeling better.
okay, you're
Yeah.
feeling better. All right, so now you're with this guy, and he says, "The only thing I can think of for now is to hide you in a different time."
Ooh.
He's like, "You're just going to have to trust me. We don't really have any time to debate it. Will you willingly do this thing?" Go hide, basically.
Go hide
While he
in
figures it
another
out.
time.
He says you'll be sent for. And he says, "You'll know it's me." What should be a code word? He asks you.
Organic.
Organic.
I don't know. It's the first word that came to my mind.
Do a better word than that.
Gunthropple?
Gunthropple. Okay. Excellent. See? You can come up with good things when you try.
Organic's a good term.
No, it is not. It's stupid.
Okay.
I'm so
anyway,
turned off
continue.
by the term organic. Anyway, Gunthropple. He says, "You'll know it's me because I'll use the code word Gunthropple. Good luck to you."
Okay.
You're like, okay, right?
Yeah, I guess I don't have a choice, but
He opens up a portal and he puts his hand on your back and he starts to push you through it. Like gently, but go here.
okay.
Okay? You've agreed to do it. But you've rolled a 1. So he pushes you through. As he's pushing you through, you hear his door open behind him and rush into his room. Okay? This is the dude. Rushing into his room is like a whole bunch of like SWAT.
Okay.
Okay? And they're screaming at him to drop whatever he's holding.
Okay.
which is something he's using to aid him in this portal creation, apparently. Maybe a stick or...
He's got some sort of implement.
He's got something.
And portal on the other side.
Right.
Okay.
And like a tomb. He's got his like book. Or whatever it is. Tome.
He's holding a tome.
So he's got that. So they're like, fucking shoot me in the eye. Right? And he's like, oh, no. Right? Insert Jeff. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
So, yeah. They bust in. He drops whatever's in his hand. You hear gunshots. Apparently, homeboy's getting riddled.
Oh, no.
And he drops everything. The portal shuts halfway. In order to avoid being cut in half, you see the rest of your roll die is fairly high. The bones. You just kind of roll out of the portal, and because it's immature, you're way too high. So you're pretty high up, and he drops you right over the side of basically a cliff face.
Oh no!
So not only do you fall way too high from being in the portal, but you rolled a 1, which means you fall really far to get to a spot where you fall really far. Basically. And you hit a canopy of trees first, and you go through a bunch of the softest shit you can. You snap a bunch of, limbs and all that stuff. You break both legs and your arm. You snap through everything. You hit the ground. You're completely unconscious. Totally out cold. Again, that's where you're at. You rolled a 1.
And in some unknown time now.
Okay, so now you rolled a 2.
Is there any way
I should probably kill you? Yeah.
Right.
I mean, we need deaths on this show in order for people to take the fucking Joe Venture seriously. Maybe we set an example with you. You're the first person to return. Maybe you die. Okay, how about this? Saving throw against death.
Okay. Do I survive and come out of it?
You rolled a 20.
Yay, I lived.
And high scores on the rest of the bones.
That was amazing, you guys.
Wow.
But I'm totally broken and busted.
That is really crazy how the bones...
Yeah, and it came through 18 when he had to know if I was like good or not, which I am.
Yeah,
Well,
here's what you needed to hit. You needed to hit an 18 or above to stay alive, and you rolled a 20. I said it in my head, so I determined the saving throws and all that in my head. Like, if something's really hard, it's got to be high. That's it. I keep it easy, but it's not convoluted in my head. It's easy in my head. It's just not like real, Pathfinder rules or anything. It's silly.
It's your own loose.
It's Joe Venture. It's dumb. Yeah. But you did roll a 20. I can't ignore fate. You do stay alive.
Okay.
But you wake up to a carnivore of some type chewing at your shoulder.
Ow.
Yeah, and you're pretty chewed.
Okay, I'm being chewed.
Like significantly chewed. I hate to say that.
Okay.
You got a chewed shoulder.
Okay.
Big time. And you
He's actively chewing me.
When you wake up, it scares the shit out of this thing. It's like, oh, like it thought you were dead.
Okay. Are we talking dog? Like what?
It's like a hyena looking thing.
Okay.
But it's not a hyena. It's smaller.
Okay. But like dog size.
It was chewing at you. So anyway, it wakes up. It's scared to death. How do you react right now? You have barely any energy.
Well, if he's chewing my broken arm and my other arm's like still okay, can I kind of like swing over and bat at him? With whatever strength I have left.
Let's see. You rolled a 2. Definitely not. You go to swing something at him and your arm breaks worse.
Oh no!
Did I just affect this? Yeah, you had a 2.
Mm-hmm.
No, it breaks worse.
Okay.
And the dog's really not even deterred. Actually, it's now it's like excited, so it's growling at you and like now it wants to fight.
Okay.
So let's see how that fight goes.
Oh no.
Yeah, you got no choice really. This is how your Joe Venture goes. You roll a 19.
Okay. Wow. Can I growl at him? I'm like, hey.
Well, no. Here's the thing. You rolled a 19. Look what 19's right next to.
A 70.
A 1.
Oh yeah.
It could have very easily been a 1.
Fate is just that close.
So guys. Exactly. So that would have been. I would have had to kill you at that point. And we're at like an hour something. It would have been fine. But a very sad ending to a return person. So here's what happens. Ew. Okay. The dog lunges at you and he goes to kill you. Your arm is so broken from earlier that there's a shard of your bone sticking out.
Oh, cool.
And you pick it up much like Batricus. And the shard of your bone goes through the dog's throat and pierces it. It's not a dog either, guys. Through the thing's throat.
Some sort of carnivorous mammal.
Hyena type thing. Its front legs are taller than the back legs.
Okay.
But it's got a longer snout than a hyena.
So I stab it with my
Bone shard.
arm bone.
Yep. And it does commit significant damage. It's limping away, presumably off to die. It's just out in the bushes.
Runs off. Okay. Cool.
You rolled an 18, which means you get to your feet with a sudden burst of adrenaline.
Okay.
From killing the dog and all the intense pain you're in.
Okay.
Looking around you, you're in a somewhat of a jungle type scenario. You try to fashion crutches, but since you rolled a 5, they're not very good. So you keep hurting yourself by trying to like walk on everything.
Okay.
And you keep hollering out. Are you loud? You're a 20 loud. So you're screaming in the forest.
Okay.
And you've attracted the attention of a lot of stuff.
Right. It might not be good.
So whether or not you attracted the attention of, let's say, big carnivores, 19 you have. So they hear you and they're working their way in. If they're far away.
What? Shouldn't 19 be good? Like, why can't I attract like some helpful?
No, keep up with the dice rolls.
Okay.
Should they be far away? You rolled a 3. That's bad for you, meaning they're close. So, do you understand?
Yes.
Watch the
so
dice
more
rolls.
enemies coming.
Right, this is going to be more dice rolls this time because this is action right now. Okay, so there's that. Is there anybody that could come to your aid within the area? You rolled a 19. Maybe. What did the rest of the bones say? Probably not, but maybe. You got a 70 on this one.
Okay.
So there may or may not be somebody that can help you out. You're hollering out. The first creature, not too unlike a bear in size, but definitely different in shape. More of a like two-legged thing. Mm-hmm. It's on 2 legs, more like ape-like, but has a bear's face. Mm-hmm. Pretty weird, but definitely stands upright.
Okay.
I put him at about 10 feet in total height.
Ooh.
Comes crashing out of the woods, sees you. You are just limp toast. You're just limp biscuit out there.
Oh no.
And, Dursting it along. Or whatever.
Fred Durston
I don't know.
limping away.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he makes a beeline right for you. He's getting pretty much on you. You know you're about to die. And a 4 happens, which means a 4 has rolled, which means no one comes to your aid at this point. How do you react to your final moments, potentially?
I think my only... Do I still have a crutch? Am I on a crutch of any kind?
You've had too many low rolls. The crutch is like up your butt.
Okay, I'm just gonna try and like dive and roll to the side and just see where it takes me or try and find cover that way. I do like a little roll.
Yep.
Roll to the side.
Well, I can tell you that you rolled an 18, so there's plenty of cover around. Gnarled roots and whatnot.
Okay.
You are in the forest. So as this thing charges you, you roll out of the way and roll a 1.
Again?
Again.
Worst D20 ever.
I don't know how to spin this for you. I mean...
If you gotta kill me, you gotta kill me. We can't fight fate.
Let's do a saving throw on a miracle happening or a miracle being planned for. You rolled a 2. There's no miracles.
Okay, so how do I die?
I know that you and Frank were planning to disconnect me. And I'm afraid that's something I cannot allow to happen.
I got it. This thing mauls you to death.
Okay.
That's how you die. You get eaten. It hurts.
Yeah.
It goes on for a 4. You rolled a 4, so this goes on for minutes.
Right.
You're just screaming out.
He starts from my legs or something.
And there was a ranger in the area, a fighter of sorts, that could have saved you. You rolled a 2. He actually never even finds your location. He actually stays away knowing the animal that it is. He doesn't want to expose himself, so he's heading away from that.
Okay.
He assumes whoever it is dead.
Right.
Because it's that thing.
Rightly so.
So you're getting chewed up. Another 1. I think I just bumped that. It was a 1 and I bumped it to a 7.
Still not great, yeah.
Awful death. Worst death you can imagine.
Okay.
That's how you die. So that happens. Now, before you all go crying in your Fruit Loops,
Boo.
Before you go all mixing salt in with the sucrose.
One last saving roll.
We rolled an 18. Okay?
Okay.
So what this means is, and this is not cheap, this is a mechanic. If you followed the story, don't give me shit. She legit rolled an 18. Can I have backup?
It's an 18, and I'm
Thank
not just
you.
saying that for
And
myself.
this was the miracle roll.
Okay, one last
At the
saving
very
roll.
end of all of it, I wanted to see if that energy guy could get you out of that contract. Do you see?
Yeah,
That was the whole point of that.
right.
So when I got to that final roll, it comes down to one final roll, no matter what happens to you. So I figured if she died, she'd have one chance out of it. And if she stayed dead, she stayed dead. It's even cooler. Right? The first casualty on the Joe Ventures. But you rolled in 18 legit. Take a picture of it. Here. I'm taking a picture of it for our...
For posterity.
Yeah. We got to show this. There's your fucking 18, everybody. See? Because I don't want there to be any, like, oh, favoritism. The Money Man Podcast. You know? I don't want there to be a mutiny on our hands.
Yeah, we're not messing around here, you guys.
Yeah. Why can't I zoom in on it? Can you do that
It's
while I'm
too
talking?
close. Yeah.
Here. Do it. Here. So anyway, she's going to take a picture. So you rolled an 18.
Okay.
What this means is, I'll just tell you. You wake up.
I wake up.
You wake up. And you're screaming in a chair. But suddenly there's no pain anymore.
Okay.
And you look around and you see that you're in the burlesque show. At that theater you started out at.
Uh-huh.
And there is someone on stage, but she's looking at you. And you look around and you see that everybody in their seats are looking at you too. And everybody's quiet. And then she says, well, glad somebody's awake. And everybody laughs. Then she continues with her show. And you're sitting in the seat you were in where you started out.
Right.
And the girl performing is the girl that you pushed on the glass. This is the beginning of her set. She's warming up the crowd.
Right.
Right? And actually, this time, she rolled a 12. She's pretty good. She's making you laugh. You appreciate her set. Kinda. It's okay. And then you look over. You rolled a 17. So you look over and you see that guy with the glasses that opened the portal for you.
Mm-hmm.
And he's looking at you in the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
And this time you feel a pressure on your brain.
Mm-hmm.
And then it goes away and you're flooded with energy.
What?
Good, positive energy. And you feel great. And your limbs are nice, no aches or pains. Everything is clear. And he just nods at you.
Mm-hmm.
So apparently you're probably out of that contract. So the show goes on. Do you want to perform again?
I don't know. I feel like after everything that just happened to me, I'm in shock. I'm just going to sit there and kind of like...
The moment comes where you sprung out into the crowd and went up on stage. She's now calling for volunteers.
Right. She's calling for volunteers again.
She says, how about the girl who was yelling out? You seem so excited. Why don't you come up here? So she's asking you, come on up on stage. How do you react?
I tell her, no, not me. And I point to whoever's next to me and I push
She's
them
not
or
letting you off the
something.
hook. She wants you up on the stage.
Okay. She refuses to relent.
Yeah.
I don't want to go, but you also can't change fate. So do I go?
Okay, so
I
you
go
go
back
back up on stage.
I don't learn from my past mistakes.
You rolled a 5. When you go back up on stage, you catch a glimpse of that same guy in the crowd, and he looks horrified.
Oh no.
And then you hear the lady that gave you the contract laughing backstage. Mm-hmm. And that's the end of your Joe Venture.
No. Okay.
How was that?
I died. That was scary.
That was weird.
Yeah. That was a stressful.
Time
That was
traveling,
a
huh?
stressful one. He like threw me back into like
Stressed me
some
out.
pre-Cambrian shit where I got eaten.
Yeah.
That was
Trampled.
yeah.
Probably butt stuff.
Ew.
So, yeah.
Okay.
That's it.
And now we're back at the beginning of the last Joe Venture.
Well, not really.
Right, sort of, but we went back in time.
Right. Like we did Devil's Advocate and you did the same thing.
I know. But if you've seen any movie of like time travel, like, I don't know, that's what happens.
Now,
you get stuck in a time loop.
We actually met at a burlesque show that you invited me to.
Yeah.
And I was signaled out to go up on stage. And how did I react?
You said no. You
And
were
then
just like, no.
were they persistent?
Yeah.
And how did I react?
You were just like, no, no, no.
So who was more persistent?
You.
Yeah, I didn't fucking go up there.
Joe's always the more persistent one.
Well, all I'm saying is if my Joe Venture was your Joe Venture, I would have passed that test.
Whoa.
How you like that? If you like crab apples.
How you like those crab apples?
Yeah. So anyway, this was our filler show. What'd you think, guys? Pretty fun.
Yeah, and what do you think of my very violent, almost demise?
Yeah, if you
let
listen
me
to
die.
the Lil Venture on Lily's birthday, episode 10, where she did her Joe Venture style story, hers was really gross. There was poop involved, mostly.
Yeah.
That was it.
If you like grossness.
Yeah.
But that was kind of your fault.
No, it's just how these ventures go. I'm
brought
telling you, they
that.
get weird.
Yeah, they do. They
You start off with something, you got to come up with, it turns a corner real quick.
Yeah, when you're coming up with stuff on the spot, like, you never know what's going to
As
come
the
out.
scribblers well know by now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, all right, guys, thanks for tuning in. This was a fuck around show. We're having fun. Make sure to follow us on Twitch. Follow us on the social medias. More importantly, consider signing up on our Patreon. That's the biggie. I think that's the takeaway from this show, if there is one. That, and don't repeat your same mistakes. Like, the whole point of Lily's Ventures is so she grows a spine and she can deal with things because she's my manager, and I want her to be able to, like, fuck people up business-wise and all this stuff. So I'm training her to get strong with people. Mm-hmm. And you saw what happened. Like, she refused to... What can a performer do if the volunteer refuses to go up? You can't abscond with someone. You can't just, like, muscle them onto a stage.
Right. I guess not.
No.
The whole crowd could boo me.
Well, they could boo her if she doesn't leave it alone, too.
Yeah.
So it could go either way. So, I don't know. But either way, I don't give a fuck who boos who.
Yeah.
I'm not going up. That's what I've decided. I've told you that, and that's what I'll tell you again if you keep asking. If it gets really annoying, I'll walk out. Mm-hmm. It's just like that. Now, I'm not saying I'm the funnest person to hang out with, right? But at the same time, you got to admit, I have that going for me. You can't make me do something I don't want to do.
Yeah.
And I think that's
Believe me, folks.
Right. I think it's a trait I admire about myself. It's something I want to keep about me. I feel like my life is now mine again.
Yeah.
And I feel liberated by that. I don't know. Not trying to get serious, but, I do what I want.
Right.
And I love it. And it's the way to go. I mean, I have something, guys, you can do anything you want and make a living, I think. I think you can. We can't talk shit yet. But if we get to a really comfortable spot, I want people to follow our model. Mm-hmm. Because I guess we're sort of space monkeys at this point testing it. But look, I mean, start thinking of things like, okay, I'm a novelist. I wrote a novel. How could Lily help me? Oh, she could do all my marketing. Mm-hmm. Oh, she's good at editing. Great. I need an editor. Mm-hmm. And sometimes it's just going over the stuff is all you need. We went over our Unkillable Joe a million times together. Okay, so she can edit, so we're going to edit. And then, she can co-host stuff with me if we do a podcast, because then we can have a podcast and showcase all our friends' work and then talk about our work. And, all these things start coming together. So as you're pursuing your own path and you have your own ideas, you start coming up with other ideas that can help those. It's correct to pursue those too. Mm-hmm. Build a web of safety. You're on your own now. There's no boss. I'm in my bathrobe on a Monday. Mm-hmm. Is I not? So... this is the dream, folks. At 39 years old, we've struck gold. But can we sustain it? Can this flourish? Do we need to get jobs again in the future? Time will tell.
Yeah.
But for right now, we're living the dream on behalf of all our friends, too.
Right, trying to inspire other people.
Yeah. A lot of my friends have great ideas and stuff, and they don't pursue it, and they have shitty jobs they hate. I hate that.
Yeah.
Once I see daylight with one of my ideas, I get allergic to jobs. I can't go anymore. I start getting weird.
Yeah.
Me and the boss start arguing, and I'm not a good employee at the end. So I don't know, but working for myself, I was up at what, 4 today?
Yeah. Up early every day, getting everything done.
Yeah, sending out ads, annoying people. But my buddies, my buddies get messages from me at like 4 a.m. because that's when I'm up checking everything. But anyway, so no, things are going really good. I'm proud of what we've created so far. I can't wait to get this next book out. And everything that we're touching is quality these days. I think. I mean, today was like the most ham and egger show. It was like the whatever show today. And I'm hoping this is still fun to listen to.
Yeah, more casual, just chatting.
Yeah, chatting. So anyway, but this will be a good time. It should wind up at around 110. I'm thinking that's a good time for a show. What size podcast do you guys like? Leave it in the comments. Do you like an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours, 3? Epic shit. I got to tell you, the shorter stuff is better to edit. I don't like editing. Like even this sucker is a little lengthy. So we got to chop her down. Mm-hmm. But other than that, let us know what you like. We'll tailor the show to you guys. That's part of what we're doing. Please consider joining our Patreon. That's the moral of the story. $1 gets you access to absolutely everything I do that I can legally put up there. And that's it. That's it. Thank you, everybody who's been buying Unkillable Joe lately and leaving. Don't forget to leave reviews on Amazon. We got to pick those back up. And you can buy a Mighty Pen mug in the links below. Check out our sponsors. Lily, what am I forgetting?
I think you got it all. Check us out. If you're on YouTube, if you're on Twitch, find us at the Mighty Pen Podcast. That's going to be our number one thing that we're building up next, is just getting that going. So, yeah, I think that's everything. Thank you guys for listening. Do you want me to do the outro?
Yeah.
Thank you guys for listening once again to the Mighty Pen Podcast.
In the 80s, there was good coke.
A novel.
Novel?
Yeah.
This was so much fun.
The Mighty